Close your eyes and listen. The sound you hear is older than empires. The slow toll of the Vatican bells, rolling through mist and marble. They call the faithful to prayer, but they also call to something else, something buried deep below. Each ring of the bell carries a whisper, a rumor that once echoed through secret halls. A whisper about a man no historian dares to name. He was never crowned, never blessed, never buried in light. Yet every pope feared the day he might return. They called him only one thing: Il Custode, the keeper, a guardian of silence, a watcher of forbidden pages. Some said he walked like a ghost between the archives, leaving the candles dimmer behind him. It was his duty to protect not the faithful, but the secrets. He guarded relics too dangerous for belief and truths too sharp for prayer. No book speaks his name because the keeper made sure of it. Beneath the Vatican, far below the gilded chapels and marble saints, lies a door. It bears no mark, no handle, only an ancient sigil, a serpent wound around a key. No map records its place. Yet those who guard the archives say the air grows colder near it. Some whisper the keeper still dwells behind that door, neither living nor dead, but waiting as he has for centuries, watching for the day the church forgets to fear him. And as you drift into sleep tonight, the bells of Rome begin again, each toll marking another century of silence, another truth sealed, another secret guarded by hands that no longer tremble. Because in the end, not every leader wears a crown. Some wear the veil of secrecy and rule from the dark. So rest now, let the bells fade, and as dreams take you deeper, remember, the keeper never sleeps. Long before the Vatican rose in marble and gold, Rome was a city of fire and faith. Empires collapsed, temples fell, and from the ashes rose a new order, a church built not only on belief, but on fear of what must never be known. And in that fear, the keeper was born. In the 4th century, when Constantine's empire trembled, bishops gathered in secret. Among them was a man who spoke softly of protection, not from enemies, but from knowledge itself. He proposed an office that would exist outside scripture and law, a guardian of forbidden truths. His words found favor with a fearful church. Too many relics had been discovered, too many scrolls that questioned the written word. The bishops feared chaos, division, loss of power. So they sealed their fears into a single name: Custodia Veritatis, the guardianship of truth. Only one man was chosen to bear the title. He swore an oath in the catacombs beneath St. Peter's, before relics and bones of martyrs. His vow was silence, his duty eternal. He would live without name, die without grave, and walk only in the light of secrecy. Centuries passed, popes rose and fell, but the keeper remained, always unseen, always there. He whispered in the ears of pontiffs, corrected the scribes, erased the lines of scripture that were never meant for eyes to read. Even the greatest theologians never knew whose voice they obeyed. It is said that every new pope received a single letter on his first night, and signed, sealed in black wax. The message was always the same: truth is not for all. Guard it well. Those who ignored the warning did not reign long. As centuries folded into darkness, the keeper became myth. Some claimed he was a council of men. Others whispered he was one soul, endlessly reborn to protect the same secret. Whatever he was, his presence shaped the very heart of the Vatican, unseen, unrecorded, and undefeated by time. And tonight, as you rest beneath the rhythm of distant bells, remember that the church did not rise by faith alone, but by silence, guarded through ages by a single shadow, the keeper. Beneath the marble floors of the apostolic palace lies a world few have ever seen, a labyrinth of halls stretching deeper than the catacombs themselves. Here, in this endless silence, sleep the records of centuries and the secrets too dangerous to name. The keeper was said to move through those tunnels like a shadow among ghosts. He knew which doors could open and which could never be touched. Behind one of them lay the Archivum Obscurum, the Black Archive. It was here the church hid not sins, but truths. Inside the Black Archive were documents older than the Gospels themselves, clay tablets, forbidden codices, and scrolls written in tongues that no priest could translate. But the keeper could, and among them, he found a story that made even faith tremble. It spoke of a being neither angel nor man, a watcher who walked the earth before the flood, who defied the heavens, and gave mankind forbidden knowledge. The church called it myth, but the keeper read it differently. He saw in those words a mirror, reflecting something buried within the Vatican itself. He copied the text by hand, one page each night, and sealed the original deep within a vault marked non-revelandum, not to be revealed. Even the Pope was forbidden from entering that chamber. Only the keeper possessed the key, but knowledge cannot sleep forever. In the 15th century, a young archivist named Matteo discovered references to the forbidden chamber. He vanished 2 nights later. The record of his employment was erased, and his family was told he had never existed. Through centuries, the keeper's duty remained unchanged to protect humanity from its own curiosity. Each pope turned a blind eye. Each historian found walls where corridors should be, and the deeper ones searched, the closer they came to hearing the whisper that still echoes beneath the Vatican stones. Truth is not forbidden. It is hidden. The deeper the keeper read, the more the lines between scripture and legend began to blur. Names changed, symbols shifted, but the stories were the same. The fall of angels, the birth of kings, the flood that washed the world. They were not faiths apart, but echoes of one forgotten source. In the margins of a forbidden manuscript, he found sketches of winged beings, not angels, but watchers, descending in fire, bearing gifts of knowledge. He saw the same beings carved into the walls of Babylon, painted inside the tombs of Egypt, and whispered through the Psalms of David. Different names, same presence. One night, under the flicker of a single candle, the keeper drew their symbols side by side, the eye of Horus, the cross, and the son of Uruk. When joined, they formed a single pattern, the same pattern hidden beneath the Vatican floor mosaic. He realized then, the church was older than it appeared. He began tracing the origins of faith through forgotten texts. Every belief, every god, every ritual, all spiraled back toward a single point in time, a place the ancients called Dilmun, and the Hebrews remembered as Eden. And within its myth, the same figure appeared again, the first keeper. He wrote in his journal, "Perhaps the Vatican is not the beginning of faith, but its final guardian." It was then that his hand began to tremble. Because if the Vatican guarded Eden's secret, what else did it guard? In the centuries that followed, every pope who read the keeper's records sealed them again, but added new pages of their own. Each added a piece to the same story. A celestial bloodline, a hidden relic, a prophecy that must never be fulfilled. And so, faith became history, and history became silence. The keeper saw that humanity was not divided by belief, but united by secrecy. Every civilization had buried the same truth under different names. And now, that truth slept beneath the heart of the Vatican. A truth that whispered not of God's absence, but of his forgotten shadow. By the dawn of the 17th century, the Vatican had become the beating heart of power and faith. But within its marble walls, a quiet fear spread. A fear not of heresy, but of memory. For every truth revealed, 10 were erased. And every name spoken aloud was one step closer to vanishing. The keeper's records were said to have grown too dangerous. The popes no longer read them. They only sealed them deeper. And with each seal, a century of history disappeared from the church's archives, replaced by silence. Some scholars noticed strange patterns. Papal decrees referencing events that were never recorded, portraits missing from the galleries, and tombs with no bodies inside. The Vatican called them clerical errors, but those who asked too many questions soon vanished from their posts. In 1759, a librarian named Father Lucian claimed to have found the keeper's signature, hidden in the spine of a forbidden codex. Within a week, his section of the archive burned in an unexplained fire. No investigation followed. His name was never spoken again. There were whispers of secret rites held beneath St. Peter's, ceremonies where the Pope himself knelt before an unseen figure. Some said it was symbolic. Others believed the keeper had never died, merely changed faces. By the 19th century, the Vatican had mastered invisibility. What it could not destroy, it buried under new meanings. Ancient gods became saints, lost rituals became blessings, and the keeper's title became a ghost, spoken only once each generation, to remind them. Truth must sleep. Tonight, that silence still breathes. Within the marble halls, the archives, the echoing basilicas, there remains a presence that watches. It does not preach, it does not write, it only listens. For the keeper was not a man of words. He was a man of silence, and his silence endures. Night falls over Rome, and the bells of St. Peter's whisper across the rooftops. Their echoes drift through narrow streets, over marble domes, and into chambers where no light burns. There the silence still breathes, ancient, measured, patient. And somewhere within it, the keeper waits. For every secret buried, there must be a guardian. For every truth hidden, there must be a watcher. The keeper's name may have been erased, his tomb forgotten, but the oath he swore still echoes beneath the stones. Custodia Veritatis, the guardianship of truth. Some say the office still exists, a single man chosen in silence, known only to the Pope and to God. He wears no title, keeps no records, and speaks to no one. But when forbidden knowledge rises again, when a truth threatens the Church's sleep, he appears. Others believe the keeper was never a man at all, but a legacy, passed like a whisper through time. A vow that binds those who guard the sacred from those who would awaken it. The keeper is not flesh, but faith itself, wearing the mask of secrecy. If you walk the halls of the Vatican at night, some say you can hear him. The soft turning of pages in a locked room. The faint sound of footsteps behind you. The whisper that reminds even the faithful. Truth must sleep, and perhaps that is why the Church endures. Not by revealing all that it knows, but by holding back what it must. Faith survives not through knowledge, but through mystery. And mystery is what keeps the world dreaming. So tonight, as your eyes grow heavy, remember this. There are truths the world is not ready to see. And somewhere, beneath the stones of the Vatican, a single candle still burns. Its flame tended by hands unseen. Its light watching over all who dream of what lies beyond faith. For the keeper never dies. He only waits.